What is good, gang? It's your boy Jay back here today to review a trade that I took this morning. This was a trade that I sent to the community. I'll show you guys that in the chat here in a little bit, but just in regards to it, it was a very calm day trading NAS100. Absolutely clapped them, just like Patrick Starr. Clapped them cheeks. But yo, jokes aside, what a phenomenal day. What a glorious freaking day in the markets. Let me show you guys what we did. So today I took this one trade. I don't know if y'all can see it. Let me just try to hide the glare. All right, you can't. There we are. 10,000 chicken McNugget special with the fees and stuff. I actually ended up getting out of this mug just a little bit early, right? I got out a little bit early out of that motherfucker, man.
What did he say?
And the reason behind that was simply because I was satisfied with what I was in profit with. And not just that, but it was a great trade. We smacked them. It didn't take too long. Not just that, but the entire gang ate with us. So, we always love those. One of the biggest things about our channel is we thrive on transparency, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead. As you guys can see, today is November 17th, as it says right there. I said buy NAS100. This was the before. Sent out TPs, all that good stuff. Sent out some memes too, because that thing was running. And then, some updates, so on and so forth. But, we had an absolutely phenomenal trade on NAS. And then, the team ate as well. $2,300, $600, $700, $60, $180, $10K, $100, so on and so forth. You can see that a lot of people made a lot of money with the trade today too. So as you guys have been seeing, if you've been following us while we've been trading NAS100, we have a very simple strategy for NAS100. I like to call it the Chinese takeout method. And the reason why is because we're going to box it up like Chinese takeout. I know you ever been to like the Bay or into New York, somewhere where they got a Chinese Chinatown type vibe. But when you go to these places and you get Chinese food, they box it up crazy, right? And that's what we do with this strategy. We box the market up crazy, and once we box it up, we tear it up, right? So let me take you guys through the thought process of this specific trade. So here was our box for the session. All right, now that we have this box going, actually, let me box it up like this. Here's our box for today's session, and we'll do this as a structural range. All right, so there's our box for today's session. I'm just gonna delete the horizontal lines for just the time being, or the vertical lines. So since this is our box for the range, what we're trying to do is we're simply trying to understand the range, understand where we're at inside the range, and then take advantage of that range, right? Now, since we've been trading this strategy, I've been posting every trade with you guys. We're like 4-0 so far. We've been trading for 2-3 weeks doing this specific model every day. And I haven't even looked at FX charts because I've been just cracking and cracking and cracking every single day, right? Some of the times the market doesn't necessarily get to exactly where I want it to get to, but it's all good. What can you do? You can't win them all in the sense of getting it to exactly where you want it to go. But regardless of that, every day we've been cracking NAS. And even if it only gets to the equilibrium or 50% of the area of where we want to take price to get to, if you're trading this, NAS moves in big increments and big points, so you can maximize your potential returns. All right, step one, we box up NAS100, right? We got it boxed up on all our different time frames. On the higher time frame, last week, we were trading NAS, and what were we doing? Last week, we bought NAS down here at these lows. We bought right here at these lows. Very good lows that we bought at. We caught this whole move to the upside. Price pulled back, came up, made a new high. My pre-market open analysis or idea was I wanted to see this low get swept and do one of these numbers, and then I wanted to see price go higher. So that was my bias. The reason being is we had this structural low here. We had a support area. We put in a high. We put in a new higher low. We put in a higher high. Even though we put in this higher low right here, this one that I'm boxing up right now, even though we had put that in, my idea of this was the fact that this market had made a big move to the upside, right? Very shallow retracement. right? So what I wanted to see was I wanted to see a little bit of a deeper retracement, maybe make some type of harmonic, right? Something like that. If some of y'all trade harmonics, cool. If, it's not something I talk about, but it's something that I visually see. I wanted to see some type of move like that just to take out, these lows right here and then continue on. Now that you have the thought process underway, let's kind of go into the lower time frame and start. So as market starts to open, I am watching. Let's do this. We'll slow down. I'm watching. We come down. Market opens. And what do? We came right here to this previous low and we swept it, right? Here was the low. We tested it once, rejected, tested it two, rejected. We smashed right through. We grabbed whatever liquidity we were going to grab. And from a structural standpoint, what I want you guys to understand is we're in this downtrend, making lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So these were the two lower highs that were relevant to price actually changing direction, right? So, in a downtrend, price goes down. When it breaks past the previous lower high, that's, the change of structure, change of directions, break of structure, shift of momentum, whatever you want to call it. Usually price will pull back and then it'll start going up, right? In NAS's case, what I've noticed is once it breaks, it just kind of keeps going in that direction. Or if it's bullish, once it breaks, it just kind of keeps going. It doesn't really give you a pullback or an opportunity to enter, right? So when I saw this break on this 1 minute time frame, I went ahead and I said, let's go ahead and buy this bad boy here. And we put the stops right around the lows. And, for us, I had a TP1 of, let me just pull it up so I could be accurate with you guys. Obviously the broker we're using and the prices are a little bit different. It's not too much off, but TP1 was 20. It was like somewhere right here. It's TP1. And before you guys say, oh, this is a negative risk to reward ratio, by the time I saw the momentum start to pump, I had actually sent out the trade. Like, I knew this was going to break structure just because of the liquidity grab. But, we sent it somewhere here where it was closer to 1-to-1. By the time we came right to where the structure broke and it sent, I just said, hey, this is like more transparently saying it. But we entered like right on the break. TP1's right there just so people could get something quick in and out, 50 pips. The more advanced people, they want to ride out trades. They want to maximize whatever they're getting out of the market. TP2 was up here. And our TP3 was all the way up here, right? As price started to move, we could watch it. It just aggressively went ahead, smashed TP1, smashed TP2. Now, once it smashed TP2 and it started making this move, one thing I like to do when it comes down to identifying these zones is I like to figure out where my equilibrium points are at, right? So this is based on this strategy. What I like to do is I like to take the zone. So let's take our Chinese takeout box, whatever you want to say. This is our box. I like to figure out where the 50% of this box is because that's the equilibrium of the area, right? Now, what I like to do is I like to go ahead and start taking majority of my positions partially out there. But in this case, we spiked this high, and I think that's exactly where we reversed as well. Our overall TP was up here. We ended up taking majority of our position out somewhere. I'd like to say either this candle or this candle. I'd like to say either or on whichever candles. It might have been this one. I have to go back and see, but we ended up getting out. I told the gang, take partials, move stop loss to break even, and then I closed my full position. I took profit on this candle. It's 47 candle. But regardless of the point is we swiped these highs. I told everybody to close out. And, for the day, that's, from entry to the high, is about a 203-point move. Now, NAS ended up coming back, taking out the lows and doing all that stuff. But, for us, it doesn't matter because we got in and out with our trade and it was a phenomenal day, right? I really love the way we traded today. I really love how the setups work. We're calling out moves right as they're happening, and it's not just me making money, it's everybody on the team making money with us, right? Amazing move on NAS. Then we caught a sell as well. Shout out to my boy Vaughn. Vaughn caught the sell. The sell was nasty as well. And now we're just gonna wait for tomorrow and see how the price action lines up. Right? Today is still the 17th. This was a $10,000 day. I mean, you got to factor it in. We had like a $20,000 plus week last week. Today's Monday. We're one trade in. We're $10,000 up already. You know, I'm hoping that we could at least do $30-ish thousand this week. If we could do that, that'll be phenomenal. We might get some new wrist attire. That's the word I'm looking for, right? But man, I'm super excited. I hope you guys are enjoying these YouTube videos. I hope you guys are getting some value and some knowledge with these. We're gonna keep dishing them out, but you know, above that, I really don't have too much else to say. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want an office tour, I'll do an office tour soon. I'll go over all the little gizmos and gadgets and all the extra stuff. But yo, besides that, you know, just make sure you guys are subscribing. You know, we're on this road to 100K subs. You know, let me know what other type of content you guys want to see, man. You know, I'm down to do whatever. Just I'm having fun making these for you guys, and I hope you guys are having fun and getting some value watching them. But with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all today, man. So, you know, I hope that you could take something that we're teaching you and apply it to your trading and, you know, help your family and, you know, just win big. You know, 2025 is almost over. Whatever you learned during this year, hope you take it, you apply it, and 2026 is the biggest year for you, your family, and everybody around you in your tribe. So that being said, family, I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.